Hey guys. Well, another episode of Kyle being Kyle. Oh God, just horrible under pressure. The amount of information he spills every time he speaks. And like I said, every time someone gives him another plan, he just eats it up and just makes it his own, like he thought of it. He's never had an original thought except for the one where he wanted to get rid of Moose. So here we are. Kyle puts up Steph and Moose. And his target is Moose, exposing all of Moose's secrets to the people in their alliance, which they were in the Savage 7 alliance. And I think both of them were also in the Resort, which was a 5-person alliance, which included him, Moose, and Steph. So he targeted both of his alliances at one time. As soon as he became HOH, just terrible at the game. The worst. He should have just sat back and still be playing like, oh, I don't need to win anything. I'm just safe. He was talking such big game. And as soon as he had power, floundering about. Just the worst. Oh, God. And Betty's talking big. Again, no one's paying attention to her because she's hot garbage. Just look at her there. Just, just talking up a storm, because Kyle originally told her before he put Moose on the block. He originally told her that she would be going up, which made her feel important. He made her feel like, oh yeah, they're targeting me because I'm big. I'm big in this game. They want to get rid of me. I'm hot shit. No. But Kyle is just terrible. He's just terrible at the game. Oh God. So Betty's getting screen time because of that ridiculous move that he made. And now Moose has to do damage control, but no one believes him because he's always double talking, You don't build trust by always telling people what they want to hear. And Moose does that a lot. Just one move by Kyle and he exposes everyone's weakness. Well, just him and Moose. He exposes both of their weaknesses. And one talks a lot, but gains no trust within doing that. Good at talking. Moose is very good at talking, but he doesn't gain anyone's trust. No one really trusts him because they all talk to each other. You have to be consistent. And Kyle talks a good game, just incompetent, just absolutely incompetent, cannot handle stress at all. Just a big idiot. So as he decided that Moose is his main target, what does he do? He still has Steph up in the block. He tells her, I don't want you to go out. Moose is my main target. He's telling other people to win the veto and take Steph off so he can have her in his back pocket. If that was the truth, he didn't have to put her up on the block. He could have just done Betty and Moose. He is so terrible at this game. I'm absolutely floundering by the moves he's making. And of course, Moose, he's talking to Josh and Summer, and what was the single mom's name? I knew I was going to forget her name. He's talking to them, trying to convince them of that he's not lying, and it's Kyle that's turning everyone against him. And they're asking him questions. They're like, so what's really going on? What happened? How did you guys fell out? And he's like, well, Kyle had other alliances, and that's what's happening. He's trying to see those three. These three, you can't trust. You can't trust them at all. Summer has that all girls alliance. I believe single mom over here is also in that all girls alliance. And Josh, as soon as Jay went, he kind of turned his tune because he was in the Savage Seven while Jay was on the outside. And all of a sudden they become friends, and now he's against everyone that's in the Savage Seven. Josh is, his emotions are all over the place. He's good at this game, but he's doing weird stuff. I don't know what he's doing. He's alienating his own alliance. And yeah. So Moose is trying to pitch to them that he's on their side, you know, and Kyle is just, you know, trying to get him out for some ridiculous reason. And then Herman confronts him about, you know, when he said to Josh, he said to Kyle, I mean, he said to Kyle that if he gets a chance, he'll take out Herman and T, I think that's the single mom, Tiana, something like that. I can't remember her name. But he said he would take those two out. Those two that happened to be in the Savage Seven Alliance with him. He told Josh that. He told Kyle that. Why do I keep saying Josh? He told Kyle that, and Kyle used that against him. And now he had to lie his way out of it, pretty much telling Herman, well, it didn't go down like he said, well, I was talking to him and he was really nervous and he didn't know how to put up. And he was telling me that he would put you and T up. And I just kind of told him it was a bad idea. So he framed it like Kyle brought it up first and he was just having a conversation about it, which was an absolute lie. But, you know, Herman bought it. Herman bought it. The reason Herman bought it is because Herman is playing the game like a businessman. He is a businessman and he plays the game like a businessman. He doesn't, he said it himself. I don't need to like the people in my alliance. It's a business move. We're working together to bring each other further in the game, which I think is the way that everyone should play the game. He's playing the game right. And in defending himself, Moose says something that I think Herman should have really seen as a threat, but he didn't. Moose said, you're the best player in the game right now. And Herman was like, thank you. Just don't tell anybody else that. And to me, if I was Herman, I'd be like, yeah, this dude definitely wants to take me out. He didn't see it that way. He took it as a compliment, brushed it on the rug. Just a little picture of him just eating up that story. I think when you feed his ego, he has a blind spot for anyone that feeds his ego, because he was yum yum yum, just eating all that up. Yeah, so he bought that lie. And then Moose just going around talking about how he's going to turn this around, he's going to do all this when the pressure is on. Because I think Moose is like a year older than Kyle, which means he's 24 and Kyle is 23. So they're both very young and just they have a lot more gumption than they have skill. So they talk a big game, but they can't really deliver the way they think they can. And yes, and Moose here confronting Kyle, saying, what's going on? We were so close. Why would you do this? And, you know, and Kyle was just like, well, I realized after seeing you lie that I can't really trust you, and you can easily do that to me and all this stuff. And it's just like, oh my God. It's just like, why? Why? And then there's Gino. Oh, Gino. There's, Gino's in the Savage Seven as well. There was a moment where, for some reason, Kyle thought it was a good idea to expose the Savage Seven to Marty, even though Marty thought him, Gino, Kyle, and Herman were already in an alliance. They exposed the Savage Seven to Marty, basically letting him know they had an alliance before him and they didn't tell him about it. And the whole time, and Marty said, well, you know, I now have to really think about it. You got me rethinking a lot of things. You guys didn't really tell me all of this. We're supposed to be in an alliance. And the whole time, good old Gino said nothing. He was right there. He was part of it. He said nothing. He says very little this entire game and just gets away with it. He was part of lying to him and he said nothing and he was never confronted and he basically got no blood on his hands while Kyle just continues to blow up his own game. And this was, I thought was hilarious, where Moose basically concocted a lie in order to get Josh on his side so that Josh would play for the veto to take him off the block. And what Josh does basically is just tell him whatever he wants to hear, obviously lying to him. I don't know why he believed them, but he's obviously lying to him. They got to pick players for the veto competition, and lo and behold, Moose spins the wheel, and it lands on Josh. And Josh got to play. He goes to the veto competition. Let's see. It's a ridiculous competition. I don't even want to explain it. I'll explain. They're in B costumes. They have to first, was it? They have to assemble a puzzle, which is like a honeycomb sort of puzzle on a board. They have to assemble a puzzle. That, give you a little snapshot of what the competition looks like. All right, so they have to assemble the puzzle over here. They have to collect these pieces over here, these yellow pieces over there in the flower garden thing, collect those, and then assemble the pieces over here on the board, cover it in yellow honeycomb shapes. Then after that, they have to then collect I think like balls, there's like nectar that has to go around in the center of the little black pathway there. So the balls have to collect into that center there. So they have to collect the balls from, they have to dig up the flower garden to get some of the balls here. And they have to puncture the little honeycomb things in the back there to get some balls from there. And they have to untie the strings here on the box there to get the balls from there as well. And then after you get the ball, then you move on to rolling it through the pathway and then arranging it in a circle over there with, I think it's like 5 red balls on the outside and 1 yellow ball on the inside. All right. Competition goes on and Moose finishes assembling his puzzle first. And of course, no surprise, Betty is the last person to finish the puzzle, and she was sweating bullets. I'm talking, I've never seen anyone sweat so much in my life. She's just terrible at everything she does. She's like, oh, it's so embarrassing. Yeah, you shit the bed in every competition you've ever been a part of. But yet you're still talking big, like you're a big gamer. Jesus Christ, Betty. Just a mess. So the first one to get all the balls and get ready to finish up the competition was Josh, surprisingly. And Moose is excited about it because he's thinking Josh is playing to win and he'll take me off. The second one to get there is Moose, who's the first one to finish the puzzle and the second one to get to the last part when it comes to rolling the ball. And eventually, because I think Josh is a pediatric doctor, so he claims he has steady hands because of his work or whatever, which showed in how he performed in the competition. He was just behind the eventual winner, which was Moose. Yes, big surprise. Moose is the target, and Moose won the HOH competition. I mean, the POV competition, sorry. Moose won, shoved it in Kyle's face. It's like, you won me out. Now I have the power of veto. And now Kyle starts floundering about, doesn't know what to do. So I think that was the point when he decided to out Moose from the Savage 7 Alliance and put Marty in. And that's when he revealed to Marty that he's been lying to him about the alliance that he had behind his back. And Herman was in the room and he was just like, he doesn't know what the hell is going on. He's just going along with it. But he's really pissed. He's really sick of Kyle and all the moves that he's been making. Just crazy. While they're in the room, Marty floated the idea that they should get rid of Josh. And and Kyle was like, oh, okay, yeah, we'll think about it. As he always does, always seems like he's not going along with a plan that someone tells him. And then seconds later, that's immediately the plan he adopts like it was his idea. He never has an original thought in his empty head. Just the worst at the game. Just the worst at the game. So Marty came up with the idea to get rid of Josh because he's thinking Josh would be most likely to win HOH and be the one to take a shot at them, which I believe Marty's on this. Marty's really good. I'm going to have to put him for my favorite to win. He's really reading the room and he really knows where the game is going. He's absolutely correct with Josh being a very good competitor and probably going to put them up and get rid of them. Absolutely correct. But the problem was he wasn't HOH. Kyle was HOH. And Kyle is in an alliance with Josh, the Savage 7 Alliance. He already targeted two members of two different alliances that he has. So he then decides to adopt this idea to get rid of Josh, and he floated past Herman to get an extra vote to vote out Josh, and Herman is losing it. He's like, this guy is targeting not one, not two, but he's basically blowing up his Savage 7 Alliance, and Herman is banking on that Savage 7 Alliance to get him further in the game. So he goes back, tells Betty that he's going to put her on the block, even though he didn't put her on the first time, he's going to put her on the block this time, and then goes to talk to Marty one more time, and Marty convinces him that Josh is the one he should take a shot at. And even though he just told Betty a second time that he's going to put her up, he doesn't do it. He puts up, as the replacement nominee, he puts up Josh. And immediately, Tiana, whatever that single mom's name is, she started crying. I don't know why she's crying. I guess he was a close alliance member to her. Oh yeah, she's also part of the Savage 7. And she's a lot closer to Josh yet, but that makes sense. But still, crying. But before that, we have a moment where Kyle decides to talk to Jesus, what is this? What is this lady's name? These people got to really start doing some stuff so I can remember their names. Her. He decides to talk to her to get an extra vote to guarantee that Josh goes home, not knowing that she is aligned with Josh. She's one of the numbers that Josh can call on to get rid of him. So he floats the idea that he's going to put somebody up and he wants to know if he has her vote. And she's like, well, let me know who you're thinking about and then I'll consider it. And he said, well, I have 3 options right now. He said, what was it? Tiana, the single mom, Summer, and Josh. He said those 3 names. 3 people that she's aligned with. He's just ruining his game for no reason. In the end, puts up Josh. And Josh is obviously pissed. I don't understand why you would do that. Hold on. Just want to. Oh my God. Really? Yeah, so there you go again with Betty still talking because she still feels important because she thinks and there's Josh, as you can see how he's dressed, very reminiscent of Jay. He seems to start adopting Jay's personality after Jay left. It's weird. It's very weird. But that is that. That is the end of episode, was it 7? Very disappointing. They should have never gave Kyle power.